Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Traveling Gun. My name is Thomas. I am a regional flight attendant. So today's vlog is technically, it is a not travel vlog, but it is a work vlog. I actually picked up 2 days of reserves. So because my schedule, like I said, February was just straight trash. And I only had 76 hours, so I needed to get some more hours. So I just offered to pick up 2 reserve days from somebody because technically I was off for 4 days during this stretch period of time, and the hopes was that they don't use me. So far they haven't used me. It's like 10 o'clock, so they haven't called me. I'm on call from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m., which that's how long our reserve calls for P1 is. Now we have 2 sets, P1, P2. Don't ask me what the P stands for. I have yet to figure it out. But one starts at 4, P2 starts at 10, and that from 10 to all the way to 11:59. So that's why I never picked that one. So what I usually do is I have my alarm set to go off at 4 to wake me up out of that deep sleep. And then I just check my phone just to see if they've added something. Then I go back to sleep and wake up whenever, but I can still hear my phone ring because I've been woken up out of that deep sleep. So that's why I am. But today, throughout the day, I'm going to explain to you about reserve, just how it works and everything like that for those who don't know how it works with us. So that's enough about that. I'm going to get into washing these dishes, and then when I come back, I'll talk to you more about our reserve.
The house in a while, I'm an anxious butterball and I'm small, sweaty on my palms like a river, hot flashes and a shiver. I'm an anxious butterball and I'm gross. Try talking to you, but I left too soon. Stood in the corner at the back of the room. I'm so stupid, but so are you.
So about how reserve works with us, like how I was able to pick it up, I was technically off. And being that a lot of reservists, they want to have trips. So you see a lot of people swapping out reserve days for trips. And one thing I want to warn everybody that's brand new that's coming on reserve is this. A lot of people would trade their reserve days for trips, but they're not looking at the credit hour of the trips. Prime example, let's just say for us, our reserve days are worth 4 hours. That's how each day of reserve is worth, is 4 hours. So let's just say you have a 3-day stretch of reserve that's at 4 hours a piece. You know, that's only 12 hours actually. And let's say you pick up a 4-day trip that's only worth 10 hours. That line holder actually made more money versus you taking that trip. You lost money. So what's going to end up happening is your check is going to look a little bit funny because you lost hours on that trip because your reserve days were worth a lot more than that trip. And a lot of line holders won't tell you this when they're swapping it out. They'll be like, oh, I'll swap it out with you so that they can make more money. Me, I'm not like that. I remember I had someone back during the pandemic when it first happened. I wanted to get rid of a trip for whatever reason because it wasn't worth anything. So I was trying to pick up reserve days. And somebody said, hey, I take it. And I told her, I said, you know that you'll lose money because this trip is worth less than your reserve day. She was like, I don't care because I just want to fly. I haven't been flying. They haven't used me. So I was like, okay. See, so I'm not like that. I'm not going to try to get over on any reservists, but just make sure when you're swapping out reserve days for trips that the trip is either worth equal to or more than what your reserve days are worth, because you will lose money. And a lot of reserves have found out the hard way because their check ended up coming up short. And with me, I was off, so therefore it helped her out because she had enough wiggle room to pick up a trip so she can make more money. And it helped me out at the same time. Like, it wasn't like I was doing her a big favor because I was helping my own agenda out as far as trying to get more hours. So I was hoping that they wouldn't use me, and that's a quick 8 hours that I got for just not doing anything but sitting at home. So usually when I was on reserve, if they haven't called me by 12 o'clock, they don't usually call me for the rest of the day. But it has happened to where I was about to be released at 2 minutes prior. They called me for a trip to be at the airport by like 8 something, which they can do that because home reserve does not count as duty. You're at home, you're not actually working, you're just on call. That's just your contact period. So they can contact you at any time and say you have to be at the airport by 10 o'clock for a flight. So that's perfectly legal because that's what they can do, because you're just on call. You're not actually working or on duty. Yes, you're getting paid for being on call, but you're not actually working and on duty. You're at home. Excuse me. So home reserve does not count as duty days. You're just contactable between whatever you choose, 4 to 6 or 10 to 11:59, and they can tell you at 5:55 that you need to be at the airport by 9 o'clock for a flight, and it's perfectly legal. So that's one of the things that I've seen a lot of new hires have an issue with. Like, can they really do this? Is this legal? Yes, it is legal because you're actually sitting at home. So that's one part. I'm not gonna try to give you all at one time because, you know, it could be a lot of information to digest, but it is actually 70 degrees today in Atlanta. Look, this weather is bipolar. So it's perfect weather to go outside and do some things in the yard that I couldn't do because the weather has been either raining or it's been super duper cold. So I'm gonna get back to stuff outside, take something out for dinner tonight, just in case if I'm home or not, and they don't call me, and I'll keep you guys. Like I said, I haven't been called. It's going on 2:30, so we'll see what happens later on. I have 4 more hours that I'm on call, so I'll see you guys a little bit later. Hello, everybody. So it is quitting time, and I didn't get used today, so I'm gonna go ahead and start on dinner or whatever. Cook me some sauteed cabbage, and you know I have 2 small cabbages here that Mom Dukes brought to the house. Why she brought them, I don't know. But what I usually use to cook my cabbage with, I'm gonna give y'all a little secret of, I mean, it's probably not a secret. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that cooks this way, but I usually use olive oil, a little seasoned salt, and some of this Nature's Own, but the key ingredient is chicken bouillon flavor. And that chicken bouillon flavor, it makes it go like, ooh, what's that? And it's a good taste, because my mom ate it and she was kind of like, what is that? So that's my little secret, is chicken bouillon flavor. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, day 2 of this reserve day. Hopefully I don't get used, but given my luck, I can see them give me like a turn to Augusta, which is only an hour, which I waste more money going to the airport than I'm actually made for flying the trip. So I'll see you guys tomorrow on day 2 of reserve day. Good morning, everybody. This is day 2 of my reserve day, and obviously I'm in uniform, so they called me. And what did I tell you they would call me to do? A turn. So I do a turn to Valdosta, then I deadhead back. I sit for 2.5 hours and then deadhead back. So I told you, but this, you know, that's normally what they normally do. But what happened was, this was a delay from last night, and they delayed it till this morning. So the flight attendants and pilots had to get the proper rest. So that's why I was eventually called at like 4 this morning to do this flight. And it was supposed to leave at 7:45. So I had to report here by 6:45. Now it's delayed even further until 8:30 a.m. So I'm just gonna watch and see what happens with it, and I'm gonna try to see if I can, because the flight that's supposed to come back from Valdosta is delayed to 10, and I'm trying to see if I can get on that flight to deadhead back versus sitting for 2.5 hours to 11. And I'm gonna see if they'll put me on that, or if I can non-rev on that one back. So I'll see you guys a little bit later on. So I just want to give a quick update. I'm delayed. It was originally supposed to leave at 8:30. We got delayed till 9:10. Now it's delayed till 9:30. And that's because the visibility is very, very low down in Valdosta because of fog. And if you don't know where Valdosta is, it's in southeast Georgia. And yesterday we went up to like 70 degrees. So I'm here in the metro Atlanta area, so I'm pretty sure it got warmer down there. And now it's back cold. And one thing about Georgia is very humid. And then you have a lot of fields that can cause fog and all this other stuff. But basically I'm delayed, but it cuts down on my sit, and I only have an hour and a half sit now. So but still waiting to see if I'm gonna get delayed any further and see what happens from there. But I'll see you guys a little bit later on.
Dressed up, but I didn't know it was a costume party, and I wanna go home. I'm so stupid, so
Good evening, everybody. So I finally made it home. So they threw a 12.5-hour duty day on me. I've been up since 4:15 when they first originally called me. Ended up being delayed. I was supposed to report at 6:45. Did not leave until 9:30. Got down to Valdosta. I was able to get on the earlier flight, but as soon as I landed, they added a turn to me to Fayetteville, North Carolina, which made my duty day run into 12.5 hours. So this is a small taste of what it looks like to be on reserve, even though I only had 2 days. But just imagine if somebody had 5 days. It's something that can always happen like this. Like I said before, 90% of the time it goes, they give you a trip, it goes like it's supposed to. Then there's the times like me, I'm thinking I'm finna go home early, boom, they add another turn, or they add another this, they add another that, take stuff away. That's just the life of it. I'm off for a couple of more days, and then I start back my regular trips again, and then I have recurrent after that. So as always, hug on the ones that you love, tell the ones that you love them.